in a situation or shift perspective. Adaptability enhances the ability to learn new skills. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is crucial for success. An adaptable student is capable of building harmonious relationships with his or her peers and teachers, and in the behavioral domain exhibits high level of emotional self-regulation. Research demonstrates that adaptability is also essential to an individual's career achievement and longevity. Employers typically look for adaptability when hiring new staff, and the skill is increasingly included in job descriptions due to its importance for growth and development within a role. Someone who demonstrates adaptability in the workplace is flexible and is able to respond effectively to the working conditions, even in situations where things do not go as planned. Such people typically work well on their own and with all the team members. Likewise, they are able to stay positive and encourage their team members to stay focused during difficult times. An adaptable person easily acquires other skills too, like flexibility, determination, team spirit, analytical reasoning skills, strategic thinking, management, empathy, problem solving, and being proactive and open. Did you know adaptability skills could be measured or assessed? Assessment of adaptability. One such measure is referred to as Adaptability Quotient, AQ, we say. AQ is the measure of how skilled you are in making intentional change in an environment that is evolving at speed. According to the Harvard Business Review, it is the new competitive advantage. Adaptability tests are also conducted. For example, our Indian Air Force conducts adaptability tests for all the candidates who clear the physical fitness test. It is a psychological test that is used to judge the mental ability of the candidates. There are several scales and rubrics available to measure the level of adaptability. Here is one such rubrics done by a school. This rubrics gives the scale of measurement. Adaptability is measured in terms of the student's capacity to explore and experiment, work effectively in a climate of ambiguity and changing priorities, view failures as an opportunity to learn, and his collaborative skills. These four aspects are assessed, and a child is rated based on these four aspects under the categories advanced, exceeds expectations, meets improvement, and not up to the mark. Adaptability is a natural skill, but it can be developed and mastered as well. As educators, we share the responsibility of nurturing holistic development in children, and as young adults, make them embrace the opportunities of their ever-changing world. Here is a game to exercise mental flexibility and adaptability. You can see there a box with colors written. Name the color that the words are written in as quickly as possible. For example, blue is written in green color, so read it as green instead of blue. And the next one, red is written in, say, pink, read it as pink instead of red. Would anyone would like to try this here? Any teacher would like to try reading it? If you raise the hand, we could unmute you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine.
Green,
Right.
pink, green, pink, yellow,
Yellow.
Red, yellow, red, blue, green, red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow, pink, blue, pink, red, yellow, blue, yellow, green.
Thank you. May I know your name?
Raja Rajeshwari from BG and Avadi, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Raji ma'am. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this exercise, when you're doing it simultaneously, seeing the color as well as the letters, there is more adaptability or flexibility skill gained. There are many such games which could be looked into. Moving on, we have some strategies enlisted here to foster the skill of adaptability. Role play or switching roles promotes flexibility and adaptability skills, apart from a whole lot of other skills like creativity, communication, problem solving. Improvisation. Improvisation in music, drama, and other performance arts could be incorporated into the classroom to help students strengthen their mental flexibility. Activities like story weaving, lock and tackle, debating, finding a new use for an old tool could be used in the classroom for strengthening adaptability. Creating a dynamic classroom environment. For example, students' seating arrangement could be changed on a regular basis in the class. Class monitoring could be done on in turns. Students could be asked to complete a task that someone else had started it and left it halfway through. It could be a drawing or a story halfway through or half solved the puzzle. Changing a common routine, for example, having the students use the non-dominant hand for certain tasks, like the left hand for writing, opening door, turning pages of a book. Teaching children the art of prioritizing and goal setting. Setting a new goal and finding ways to accomplish it. Promoting self-regulation or self-control, like remaining calm when a peer is acting unfriendly. Encouraging students to take risks, to come out of their comfort zone and experiment new ideas. Establish a judgment-free zone so that students feel free to express and they know that they're not being judged. Encouraging students' learning, inspiring students to explore their interests and passion, creating curiosity to sustain the process of learning, encouraging students to stay open to feedback and criticisms. Students can also be encouraged to learn to minimize disappointments and maximize enjoyment when circumstances change, or indeed keep a level head when in a winning position. Make children see change as an opportunity, not as something bad or undesirable. Like most skills, young people greatly benefit from clear and direct guidance from competent and caring adults. I'm sure all of you would agree with me when I say that we have been adopting all these strategies already, whether knowingly or unknowingly, that these practices would enhance adaptability. Henceforth, let's make a conscious effort to impart the skill in children. Change, uncertainty, variability, transition, and novelty are reality of life. The extent to which young people effectively respond to this reality will have a significant bearing on their life. The skill to see opportunities in unanticipated situations requires conscious effort and practice. Young people can be taught how to be more adaptable to make their life meaningful and beautiful. Come, let's make a difference. In our lives, change is unavoidable, loss is unavoidable. In the adaptability and ease with which we experience change lies our happiness and freedom. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Lata ma'am. That was indeed a lot of very good insight into a new concept, actually. When Lata ma'am mentioned to me, I'm going to speak about adaptability, then, I looked into it and I have realized that has become a whole lot of a new concept now. People, like she mentioned, we never knew we have heard about intellectual coefficient, IQ, emotional coefficient came, EQ. Now this AQ has come, adaptability quotient. It's a new thing that, I really got an insight into it. Thank you so much. It was very interesting that, the ideas like she mentioned about Air Force is having this test being done they're evaluated. The adaptability quotient for the Air Force, after they clear the theory examination is tested, and only when they clear that, they are getting into the Air Force. I think it's very, very true. Another very important thing that what she mentioned was about the resilience. The national education policy is highlighting a lot about resilience. Resilience is bouncing back. Even anything happens, it's okay. I'll come back to normal. If something happens, I don't get a seat, it's fine. I'll now come back and see again, try it again, or I will look into some other option. That kind of a outlook to the children is very, very important. Otherwise, today, children get everything. The moment they even spell out something, parents are willing to give them. So they are completely bloated in that they are living in a cocoon, like everything they are receiving so much. They are not able to take failures. They are not able to adapt. This is a very common problem in our children. We need to look into it. How many cases of suicides? The IIT children going into IITs, the best of our children go there, and one love failure, they kill themselves, suicide. They commit suicide because they are not able to manage that. How will I manage without this? They can't accept it. And I've been in CIRH Chinmaya International Residential School as a principal for the last 11 years. This is a very common thing I have heard. For some reason, parents want to take out the student because the grandparent wants, because it's a boarding school. They want them at home. So after 10th standard, some children say, ma'am, my grandmother wants me back. I have to go back. And then they go back and then they get admitted in 11th standard in some school. Every year, at least 2 children call me and say, ma'am, can I come back? I can't settle down here. I cannot adapt to this situation. It's so different. Our school was so different. This is so different. Oh, you must have heard it also. Your own children also, when they go join outside, you see that. Teachers, when they come from another school, they join because whatever, maybe the change is inevitable. She said that. Husband's transfer or something happens, you leave it, and then you come to a new place, take up a new job, you keep cribbing about it. That school, it used to be so nice. I don't know why this school is doing this school. And you are making your life miserable and the people around you also. We are spreading negative, things around you, negative campus. The atmosphere itself getting completely negative. So it's a very beautiful thing. Accept it. When children go abroad, I tell them, one child went abroad, got scholarship, went there, she could not stay, she came back. I cannot live here, ma'am. It's just too much. I cannot live here. So that means the fundamental adapting skill is not there in the child. In life, it will not be conducive. Everything will not be conducive. So we need to take it forward. And it is I think everybody needs to think about it. It has kindled a lot of thinking in me when I heard her talking about it. So think about it. We need to give this adaptability. So nice idea she gave, I tell you, even when we shuffle children in the sections, children don't like it. I don't want to B section. I want A section. I want my friends. Is it happen or not? Tell me. Can you show me your thumbs? Is it happens or not? You tell me. It happens. And you change the seat. 2 children, girls sitting next to each other. You say, you go there and sit. The child will come cry. Ma'am, please change my plans. I want to sit with her. I can't accept. This is something we can see. It's a budding stage of not able to adapt. You should understand. It's an indication the child is not getting on the skill. It's an indication that the child is not getting that skill. So you got to give it. I had a very funny experience when I was in Chennai. The kindergarten child from lower KG, he was promoted to upper KG. He said, I don't want to go to upper KG. I like this teacher. I like this Geeta ma'am. I have to be with Geeta ma'am. She would cry every day. We all tried counseling and all that. Initially, we were all joking about it, but then it became very serious. 3 months, the child did not get into the upper KG class. You see the strong feeling of comfort zone. This is comfortable for me. This is nice for me. I can't step out of it. It happens. Think about it. We need to think about, that is why this forum is for all what is connected with education we are talking about here. Purposely you put children sitting together. Purposely you change sections. Purposely shuffle teachers also. Teachers say, I teach 8th standard. I will not teach 7th standard now. Finished. No, go and see those children also how they are. Shuffle teachers, shuffle children, and then let us expose them to this beautiful, skill. It's a skill now. I think it's a adaptability quotient is there right now. I've understood that. Thank you so much, Lata ma'am. That was a very nice insight into this new concept that you have given here. Very, very happy. And I think we are all getting educated and growing together, evolving together, understanding these concepts. Thank you so much. Now, Nina ma'am. Next speaker. Do not unmute yourself. There are people unmuting themselves is causing little disturbance. Please don't unmute yourself. Yes, Meena ma'am. Only Meena ma'am.
Thank you.
Nobody else. Yeah.
So our next speaker is Anita Sanelji. She has a master's in English literature and is an engaging and encouraging teacher who provides a strong educational experience to the senior secondary school students of CV Kandamalli. She adapts easily to different learning styles and challenging situations. She is also proficient at tailoring lesson plans to incorporate students' diverse interests and capture their attention and imagination. Her core competencies, as quoted by her, are secondary education, student evaluation, grading, assignment creation, student support, classroom management. She has over 16 years of experience in teaching both CBSE and ICSE schools. She has been an examiner of Class 10 ICSE examination. She has been an examiner for Class 12 CBSE English core examination. She has been an observer for Class 12 CBSE examination since 2019. And at Kannamali, Chinma Vidyalaya Kannamali, she plays the role of the chief of HOD of languages. She's the editor of the school magazine, program coordinator, Interschool Literary and Cultural Fest Esperanza 2016 and 2017, program coordinator for School Annual Day, and she has attended the Chinmaya Netritva in May 2017 and will now engage us with the topic Teaching Through Storytelling. Welcome, Anita ji.
Unmute. You cannot unmute. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Thank you, Meena ma'am. Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You want to check your PowerPoint if you have?
Ma'am, I have a request. I have a co-teacher, Vidya. Can you please allow her to present later?
She can present.
Yeah. Her name is Vidya Leslie.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Let me start my session, ma'am.
Yes,
with
please.
your permission.
You have 15 minutes. Your time
Yeah,
starts.
okay, ma'am. Okay. Hari Om. Pranams at the lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. It's a known fact that those students who are well-informed teachers tend to perform far better than their peers. Therefore, it is very important to have teacher improvement programs. These programs serve as doorways to acquire hands-on skills as it gives each one an opportunity to try out new methods to make our teaching methods more effective. Let me ask you a question, all of you. Is there anyone who doesn't like to hear stories? Yes. No, absolutely no. Absolutely no. I know that. There is no age limit for that. Our grandparents used to narrate the stories. Our parents used to narrate the stories. And we do follow the same suit. We cook up many stories to make our kids happy and engaging. So just imagine, as teachers, if we are able to convert our classrooms into stages and theaters, just imagine how happy our young learners would be, isn't it? Will you agree with me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. So myself, Anita from Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Kannamali, Kochi. I'm here with a topic, learning through storytelling. We all love stories, especially listening to a narration. Storytelling is an effective teaching strategy to hold the attention and concentration span of young, active, especially restless children. It makes them creative. It is an art form that can be used to teach all the subjects. Even maths and science can also be used. Maths and science can also be taught through storytelling. So come, let's see how we can teach difficult concepts through this great art of storytelling. Before beginning the session, I would like to thank CCMT Education Cell for this initiative, Vidya Vritti Series 2. A special thanks to Shanti ma'am and Meena Sriram ma'am for all their guidance and support. Hats off to them for this great venture. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. May I now thank our dear principal, sir, Dr. M. Anil Kumar, Chinmaya Vidyalaya Kannamali, for nominating my name for such a wonderful session. My heart felt gratitude to you, sir, for all your encouragement. Thank you, sir. Let's have a look at the benefits of storytelling. Storytelling, instills virtues in the young learners. When the young generation is becoming more selfish, nowadays it is very essential to instill values in them. And it is our duty as teachers, through good stories, I'm very sure that we can do that and will be successful. Storytelling also boosts the listening skills of the children, fosters imagination in them, increases cultural understanding. We know that the culture is our identity. Is it not so? So we have to preserve it. Then the next benefit of storytelling is that it enhances communication skills in the young learners, helps sharpen their memory, makes learning much easier, and above all, improves social skills. So dears, get ready to explore the world of storytelling. So you all are my kids. We are in the classroom. Okay, done? So I have many kids right in front of me, so eager to trek with me to the world of fantasy. Come, let's start. Once there lived a little mischievous monkey. His name was Jaggu. He was very fond of apples, bananas, mangoes, and even junk food. He became fat and fat every day. His mother was so worried. She tried to make him understand about the evil effects of obesity and overeating. But this little monkey did not bother. He was then taken to a hospital. But it was of no use. The doctor tried to advise him, but Jaggu did not bother. Mothers won't give up soon, isn't it? She had full faith in Almighty God. She very well knew the healing power of prayer. She wanted her child to be physically fit and healthy. So you know what did she do? She thought of a plan. She called her son and told, "My son, do you know that our orchard is full of ripe apples? You can have it, but on one condition. You have to ascend 20 stairs of a building every morning. Once you complete it, you will be awarded with 5 apples each day." Jaggu agreed. After all, it was a good deal. The next morning what happened? He started to mount the stairs. As he was very greedy, he jumped from the 5th step to the 8th. So dear ones, can you tell me in how many jumps will he reach the 20th step if he continuously do so? I'm waiting for your answer. You can give your answers in the chat box also. You can even unmute yourself. Okay? So, however, it is 4 jumps, my dears. He was on his 8th step. From there, he made a jump to the 11th step and then to the 14th. Like that, if he goes on, he'll be able to complete his task and he even won the reward. So, Jaggu was so happy. But you know what happened after 2 days? He lost all his enthusiasm. On the 3rd day, when he reached the 10th step, he felt tired and jumped 4 steps down. But then he was once again motivated by the sight of the apples. He jumped 2 steps back in every move. Now, can you tell me in how many jumps will he reach his destination? The 20th step? Still waiting for your answer. 7. Very good. Someone has given an answer. Yeah, it's right. When he jumped 4 steps down, he had landed on the 6th step. From there, he jumped 2 steps up and reached the 8th step, and so on. So total 7 jumps. So dear teachers, let us take the number of steps moved up as positive integers and the number of steps moved down as negative integers, so we can easily teach the concept of integers to the children. This is just an example. Okay. Then, now, I forgot to ask you all something. Do you know the story of the Tens family who lived in Shantnagar village? Oh, would you like to listen to that? Okay. A young orphan boy named Tens grew up there under the tender care of the villagers. As the name suggests, the village was very peaceful, where all the villagers lived harmoniously. When Tens grew up into a young man, the elders of the village decided to engage him into marriage. Thus, he got married to a beautiful young lady. When years rolled on, Tens begot 3 sons. He named them past, present, and future. To the curious villagers, he explained about their strange mannerisms. You know, the eldest one, past, was always worried about whatever had happened. The second one was not like that. He was least bothered about all this. He was a happy little chap. The youngest one was always concerned about what is yet to happen again. So he was named Future. All the brothers grew up. Do you want to know what happened then? These brothers were so attached to each other that they never wanted to part with anyone in their family. They decided to be always together, as we see in a joint family. We should always try to love, care, and obey our elders. The brothers wanted to set up an example. So when they got married, they all stayed with their parents and siblings. The villagers all were very happy for the family, Tens family. It is then something strange and exciting happened in the Tens family. Tens became the grandfather of 12 little kids. He felt proud of himself and named the kids in the same pattern. The elder ones were named as Simple. The second ones were named as Continuous, for they were continuously smiling when they were born. The third kids were named as Perfect because they all were perfect. Now, you may wonder about the fourth one's name. Can you guess? Yeah, it was Perfect Continuous, as they had the mannerisms of both the continuous and the perfect. Thus, we have the family tree of the Tens family. Can you tell me how many members are there in the Tens family? Anyone? Can you please guess? Yes, it is 20. It's not 12, Amma, it is 20. Tens, his wife, past, present, and future with their wives, and 12 grandchildren. So total 20. Am I right? As I have narrated a story to teach the topic Tens, you can stitch up your own stories for teaching difficult concepts in grammar. So I hope you'll all try this out in your classrooms. This COVID situation has bound us fast to our houses. Nowadays, we miss the shopping malls, picnics, visit to the relatives, don't we? Or do you agree with me? Now, I'm going to take you for a short visit. Come, let's start.
Anita, you got muted. Riom, you're not heard, Anita. You're muted. The slide is going on.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, now back. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear the sound, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Now I can hear you. Right. Yes, we can hear you now, Anita.
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am, but the presentation, can you hear?
Yeah. Oh, there's an audio in it. We can't hear.
Yeah, there is an audio. I'm not speaking.
Audio is not audible at all. Audio is not audible. Others, can you hear the audio? Any of you?
No.
No, none of us are able to hear.
No, ma'am.
No. So please go ahead. Just explain it otherwise.
Okay,
Ma'am,
I'll explain it, ma'am. Can you hear me now? Is the audio clear?
Another is present in the tab. Open in the tab and present. Then you can hear the others can hear the video, audio.
Have a while. I'm ready to explain. No problem. I'm ready to explain.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, keep explaining.
Come. So, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Come, let's visit the cell city. We have Mayor Nooks as our tour guide. We all know that cells are the smallest functional units in human body. Right now, let us focus on just one cell and have a look inside.
Anita, ask her to not play the audio. Just ask her to mute only. You talk and let it be played. Some galabala sound is coming at the back. Yeah, let her just play the video, not the audio part of it. Yeah, go ahead.
The cell city consists of different parts called organelles. They serve us for specific purposes. This is the nucleus, otherwise known as the mayor of the cell. Do you want to know about this responsibilities? He stores cell DNA, direct other organelles, and contain the information the cell needs to do its job. Next to the nucleus, we have the highway system of the cell, Endoplasmic Reticulum. There are ERs and smooth ERs, rough ERs and smooth ERs. The rough ones have ribosomes attached, while the smooth ones don't. The rough ER produces proteins. These proteins are transported to the post office of the cell. Do you know the name of the postal system? It is the Golgi apparatus. As the mails are sorted in our post offices, transported and delivered to the right address, the Golgi apparatus of the cell modify, sort, and transport enzymes and proteins to the necessary areas of the cell to make it more active and healthy. Isn't it very exciting, dears? We never thought of all this. Meet the construction workers, ribosomes. They also produce proteins which are used to repair damage. Here, we have the beautiful landscape, the cytoplasm. It allows movement through the cell, provides the environment organelles need to complete jobs. Traveling through the cytoplasm, we come across the lysosomes, the recycled centers of the cell. This is the lysosome. They aid in cell digestion, break down waste, create new building materials. In short, recycling takes place. The lysosomes teaches us the value of recycling to avoid pollution and protection of our environment. We can't imagine a day without electricity. We depend on electricity for everything, right? The cell also has a powerhouse, the mitochondria. It creates energy and powers other organelles' functions. This is the cell membrane. It is like the compound wall of a house which prevents trespassers. You can see a boundary. The cell membrane has doors which are closed for the virus invaders. In this video, you can see how the virus is trying to get inside, but the cell membrane acts as a protective covering, preventing them. So, my dear friends, we have completed the structure of the cell. I hope you have understood the main parts of a cell. Hope you enjoyed the video presentation and the cell city. Wasn't that a good trip, my dear friends? Like this, we can teach all the topics through storytelling. A well-crafted narrative allows teachers to present facts and ideas in a connected flow that helps our young learners both understand and retain knowledge. Let me give you some secret tips to become a good storyteller. Would you like to know that? So, tips to storytelling. Have a clear structure for your story. Try to create stories from daily life situations because children would like that. That means you have to mine up your personal experiences. Then the next tip is you have to engage your audience through your facial expression, intonation, and pitch. Then, of course, props is very important, especially in smaller classes. And during this time of online classes, it is very advisable to make use of puppets to narrate stories or difficult topics. As students to engage always themselves in some other activities, teachers can grab their attention by means of puppets to present the characters, as it is a very easy method. Flashcards are also very helpful. So finally, what you have to do is that make your stories creative with your magical touch. So will you do that, all of you? So it's time for me to wind up. Thank you all once again from the bottom of my heart. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you, Anita ji. Close this PPT. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a very, very dramatic presentation. You almost acted it through. We enjoyed watching your actions and all of that. The stories are always, interesting. Even now, when we have seen it so many times, we have heard it so many times. But when Mahabharata comes in the television, we get hooked onto that because we love stories. Stories is something naturally. It creates some kind of a curiosity in everybody, and I think it's a very beautiful way to do lessons. But it needs a lot of training. Like when you were doing the lesson, people were wondering which class it is, which class this cell which is teaching and all of that. So we need to understand, meet the suitability to the children. What we do in a primary class should be different from what we do in a middle school, and what we do in 11th and 12th standard children. We start doing all this. The content will not go. They'll only be looking at your postures and gestures and laughing and joking. We need to be very strategically plan the story part of it. If you see the Life and Aradhana book, we have done this. See, exercises children don't like. They don't like exercises. So we made it a story. We have given a story there if you read there. So we are all going into a forest. Come on, the trees are there now. Let's all make the Vrikshasana, and everybody makes Vrikshasana. Then we go out and then you say, now, see, there are a lot of butterflies flying. Can we do the butterfly asana? Like that, the story. If you Veerabhadra asana, if you read it, you will see that book. So that concept, we have utilized it also. Stories are amazing. And you did a fine job of telling us how stories can be given of the integers. And the concept of integers is slightly difficult for children because they don't see negative integers in real life, so they get confused. So putting it as a story, it's very, very, very good to do that. You know, I had seen one a demonstration by one person who had done about this, the observation, magic of observation. The children, they are given a big 10 numbers, and then he ties the eyes of the children. He asked them to say the numbers. They said all the 10 digits. He then taught us how it is done. He said, we connect the numbers through a story. So first one number is suppose 8, and you say, my brother is 8 years old. And then the next is, 7. Then you say that, something connected with that. In 7th standard, I had a fall. Like that, you connect it. And then when you close the eyes, they are able to recollect it because this is my brother says, then when did I fall? Like that. Not with the numbers, but with the story that is connected with that. I think you must have done it. That brain gym that they are doing, they are nowadays demonstrating in schools also. They are going into different places and doing it. They are using only story for observation. You can try it. You can try it out for developing observation skill in children. You keep a lot of articles on the table. Say pen is there, cup is there, glass is there, and a mask is there. Everything you keep, but you tell a story and connect all the objects. And then you ask them to close the eyes or write down the number of objects. You will see, astonishingly, they will be able to remember many of the objects that is tracked. Without a story, you tell them to see, they won't be able to even remember 3 or 4 or maximum 5 objects they will be able to see. So observation skills also get nurtured when you connect them with stories. So that is a very beautiful idea. Thank you so much. For Anita ma'am, that was a nice session, very nice session. Thank you. So we now have the third speaker. I request Meena ma'am to introduce the third speaker.
Harioma, thank you. The third speaker of the day today is Srimati Geeta Nair, who is currently heading the co-curricular and co-scholastic activities at Arya Gurukul School, which is our vision school, and this is in Kalyan, Mumbai. A certified Microsoft innovative educator and expert and trainer, and she has also qualified the CTET, which is the Central Teachers Eligibility Test. She has participated as a keynote speaker, being a KTPI facilitator, along with other eminent panelists from various fields of education at the Naya Bharat E-Series. An initiative, Naya Bharat E-Series was an initiative of participation of school education, CEG, that is Subject Expert Group, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and the Ministry of Education. She has also attended the KTPI training workshop at Chinmay Vishwa Vidyapeeth to enhance the strategies of learning KTPI. She has attended several workshops conducted by CBSE and is a versatile individual handling a varied variety of activities in the school. Yeah, so you kind of guessed right. We invite her to now share her expertise on the topic, Knowing India Through KTPI.
Hari Om everyone. Thank you so much, Meena ma'am, for that introduction. I hope I'm audible to all. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm here, I will just share my screen, just give me 2 minutes. Yes, so I'm Geeta Nair, as ma'am has already introduced. I'm from Arya Gurukul, CBSE, Kalyan, and I'm here to talk something about KTPI as a subject, that is knowledge, tradition, and practices of India. I'll just begin with a small quote. Uttishta Jagrita Prapya Varana Nibodhata, which means arise, awake, and realize the importance of your blessings, your intrinsic potential, in order to achieve the desired goal. This quote is said by none other than our Pujya Swami Vivekananda. And with this beautiful quote, I start this day. Hari Om and Namaste. First of all, I would like to thank, on behalf of Arya Gurukul, I would like to give my pranams to Shantipa and Anita ma'am and the entire team of CCMT Education Cell. It's my proud privilege to be a part of this noble initiative of Vidya Vritti series, which is an educator empowerment program. I thank the Almighty and also feel honored to today for being given this great opportunity to share my views on this great forum with the respected dignitaries in the panel of discussion. My humble and deep gratitude to one and all. Today, I've been given the opportunity to speak on knowing India through KTPI and in this Vidya Vritti series too. And if I talk about knowledge, tradition, and practices of India, that is KTPI. So I would say, as a brief introduction, KTPI is aiming to revive India's rich heritage and culture. And CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education, had launched an elective course for the senior secondary classes. This course, also known as Knowledge, Tradition, and Practices of India, was available to students from the academic session 2013 under the academic electives group A code number 073. And the first batch of students who appeared for the board exam at Arya Gurukul was in year 2015. So this is a very like a beautiful subject which explains everything about Indian culture and tradition. So I once again thank my principal, my management for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this Vidya Vritti series. And yes, I would just brief through what is it all about KTPI, because I am aware that there are many teachers, many principals and members of different schools who are not a part of CBSE and maybe Chinmaya Vision schools. So it's very, it's my privilege to just go through the topic and make you aware the importance and the benefits of this subject as a part of curriculum, as a part of education. It's very exciting to know that this course combines various disciplines of studies such as mathematics, chemistry, fine arts, agriculture, trade and commerce, astronomy, surgery, environment, life sciences, music, theaters, and many other subjects, directly linking the students to the traditional knowledge of Indian culture. I would say if it is found to be a gamut of various professions at one place and an array of knowledge flowing through various disciplines in one subject. And this focus has taken shape in facilitating knowledge of traditional practices through various relevant course materials, reference materials which are available for students to develop their skills. And the objective behind this main KTPI is essential standing point on any subject. And we need to adopt knowledge in the teaching so that values will be inculcated automatically. We have various subjects to be taught in school, but then what are the values that we are inculcating through those subjects is very important in the current scenario. Teaching of one's own culture and heritage will definitely impart self-awareness and self-esteem among the students and develop love for their own country, as well as strengthen a healthy relation with other countries, which is considered to be the need of the hour. Also it's evident that this elective course is also keeping in line with CBSE's board's endeavor to develop a curriculum in vocational subjects with a deep focus on values inherent in Indian education system. KTPI is also totally in alignment with the new, as everybody would be knowing about the National Education Policy 2020, which speaks about integration, understanding our ancient culture, Indian culture, to understand the present scenario. And it also states that remove separation between subjects and disciplines. And if you look into the points which are mentioned, it also mentions about adopting holistic educational approach by removing hard separations between arts and sciences, curricular as well as co-curricular activities, academics and vocational streams. So there is no difference, there is no separations, there is no discriminations in the subjects. They all are one as now, as stated in the NEP 2020. This initiative also helps to incorporate elements of vocational education in the school curriculum with values integrated and deeply rooted to our Indian culture, to expose children to the importance of as envisioned by the National Education Policy. And I would also add up to this is it's a unique course which is not about humanizing India's past, as we always learn in social science as a subject right from grade 3 about the past, about the history, about the achievements. So what are we learning actually from the past is not about knowing the events, not knowing the dates, remembering the dates or the events which has happened, but it also is for knowing the past and doing better in the future. Like, to understand the past and to be better in the future and to take those values in our learning. We need to find answer to a present day question from the rich history that we belong to. So it is a food for thought that what are we learning from the past that we have in our books mentioned, what we are teaching our children. So it's really very interesting to know the course aims to develop a better appreciation and understanding of not only the knowledge, tradition, and practices of India, but also of many contemporary questions and issues that students of this generation they handle in the course of their work in related disciplines, be it business administration, be it pedagogy, be it interpersonal relation, behavior, emotional, social, physical, developmental, any of the areas, these problems, what they or the concerns, what they have, the solution for it is within us. And it also may be appreciated that the subject also leads and helps to drive the youth of today to explore more about their nation, which is a need of the hour, and to be exposed to an array of professions and to appreciate and respect the contributions of our scientists, mathematicians, environmentalists, astronomers, historians, architects, artists, laureates, whose contribution to our country is incomparable. So before we appreciate the discoveries, the inventions of other countries, let us look into our own culture. Let us look into our own Indian tradition, which is a treasure, which has not many things to be learned from that. And it's a broad, like if I give you just an overlook of it, it has multidisciplinary. It's considered to be as a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary subject. And it would not seek to impart masses of data, but then would highlight concepts and major achievements while engaging the students with a sense of exploration and discovery. And it's an introductory course so that students take this course and are prepared for the related field in higher studies in the university. So it is immaterial whatever field you go in or you further take up the studies, it's immaterial. The knowledge about your India, your culture of India, the traditions of India is always there and is always used and is always there with you, every field you. And also it will cultivate critical appreciation of the thought content and insight relevant for promoting cognitive ability, health and well-being, good governance, aesthetic appreciation, yes, right values and appropriate worldview. So this course basically will have a comprehensively like all-round personality and the students and increase their knowledge about the country, which is very important when we are a citizen of this country. So yes. So if I just brief through the syllabus of KTPI, like what are the topics, what do we know about knowledge, tradition and practices of India, and how do we know that what is inculcated in that? So a quick review of these subjects. Once you know the subjects, you will know that how the topics are covered, which explains about all the areas of discipline, like astronomy in India, chemistry and Indian literature, so Indian culture, philosophical systems, and traditional knowledge on environmental conservation, Ayurveda for life, health and well-being, life sciences of plants and animals, mathematics in India, metallurgy in India, music, theatre and drama, agriculture, architecture, education systems, ethics, martial arts, language and grammar, other technologies, painting, society, state and polity, These are very beautiful topics which covers the entire, right from the ancient, and it has very well put up in the, very well structured, I would say. It speaks about the ancient and then the medieval and then the modern. So the transformation of if you say astronomy and if you say about chemistry, how did the transformation take place? Who are the people involved in it? And what are the things we actually have come across? All these things are very well explained. And if you can see here, I have few glimpses of the topics which are covered in the books. Like if you talk about historical evolution of medical tradition in ancient India, it would be a surprise. Like the history of medicine in India spans a period of several thousand years, definitely dating back to few centuries before the Common Era. And there are evidences of, as everybody might have heard about the earliest textbook of Ayurveda, like Charaka Samhita, that is general medicine, and Sushruta Samhita, which speaks about the surgery, and Kashyapa Samhita, pediatrics. They all are edited and they are being modified throughout the years, over thousands of years. So these information are being giving our children now when we teach about medical, like the students who are going for the medical line. Are we really explaining them about this, that what is the transformation and what are the things that India has in it? India has in it. That is more important. So you can see all the tools. The plastic surgery was a thing which was done. The rhinoplasty, you can see the treating treating a patient with specialized instruments. So all these existed in those before Common Era. So this was the thing which we would like to speak to our children. Yes, and the other topic which speaks about your major dosage forms in Ayurveda, also the internal, like how it is connected to the nature, like the Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jala, all these, how it is related to our internal functioning of our body, like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, all these, how are they functioning, and what are the benefits of these Ayurvedic or the natural products which we are getting from the environment? How does it benefit our internal organs, and how does exercise, so both internal as well as external things, how does it benefit our, makes a wholesome body or healthy body? So these things are very well explained in the courses throughout the lesson. We have a topic based on agriculture, which is really surprising to know that the students would be very thrilled and excited to know that the archaeological findings where it indicates that rice was grown in parts of Ganges Valley as early in the 8th millennium BCE. And you can see the granaries which were made, which were very well structured, where the grains were stored. So this has transformed, and this, as you can see, this 329 meter long grand anecut Kalanai in Tamil Nadu, across the Kaveri River, thought to be constructed by the Chola king Karikala some 1800 years ago. See the planning, see the construction, what they were into, and this to be also to be told to the children, made aware to our children right now what they are learning. So, so this topic covers many things. You can see the seeds and sowing, how to identify the seeds, what are the benefits, or how is the seed sowing done. There are so many planning in that. There are so many understanding of things to be done in that. Then the natural medicines, natural fertilizers which are made for the plants. So here now we have agricultural universities which teaches the students about all these things, so which were already existing. So this has again come back to us where we already were. So it's a circle. We always say it's a circle. So it's coming back, and we could also see that students are more towards knowing about these things nowadays. So there were festivals which were celebrated to understand the importance of agriculture. And here we have the topic on environmental conservation. Yes. So what you see in the image is nothing else but preserving the nature. So now we talk about preserving conservation of nature. You should plant trees. So was it there earlier? The people used to worship trees. Now you can see the people go around the trees during a festival when they tie the thread and they do the pujas and all those things. But what is the science? There would be something behind that, right? So what is the culture which says is basically it is done to protect our nature, right? To protect our trees, because if there are no trees, there is no existence. There is no existence in the whole biosphere. So why are these trees offer like the puja to them? Why the people offer puja? It is only because to conserve the nature. Similarly, we connect them to God, so that we are all God-fearing people, right? So we always feel that yes, the trees are so important, and we prayed, and we cannot cut those trees. So that is the reason. We also knew that the protection of plants, there were many offense punishment if for a certain offense done, if they cut the tree, the fruit laden tree, or teasing the animals, which is now again followed. Like, so this was existing years back, and all these things are very well put up in the question. Astronomy is such a beautiful thing which students would like to know more about the astronomy. So all these things you can see Vastu when it speaks about how to construct a temple, even that has a proper planning which is constructed based on the Vastu Shastra and the location of the Gopura, the location of the idol, the Mandapa, and all those things are very well put up here. So this was a beginning of Indian astronomy. If you could see the waxing and waning of the moon, which is there on the, which is shown on the calendar sticks. So this explains how people were, how our Indian culture or tradition or the knowledge was so strong even in years back. And these were the tools which were used for observing the astronomical, which were used to understand the stars, the location of the nakshatras. And if you could see, all these nakshatras are shown here. And this gives a very deep insight into the astronomy which existed earlier.
Gita ma'am, slightly wind up slowly. Yeah.
Yes. So classical dance form is also another beautiful topic which we had in that, and with the expressions shown. So these are all things when children learn the dance, they may not tend to understand so in depth, but then when you explain them right in the education, during their system of education, it really impacts them. So if I talk about the objective of KDPI in school, it's not about an optional subject for the students which CBSE has offered, but also it focuses on the exposure to the faculties and subject experts to get an insight into the Indian knowledge system and stay connected to our ancient Indian knowledge and culture with various topics. And you can conduct seminars, workshop, orientation for students to aware them about this. So as I said, all music, dance teacher, drama teacher, they all can be a part of the planning of this beautiful initiative. And it's also proved to be helpful to know more about the this subject. And when we speak about investing on human machine, right, we understand that we need to be deeply rooted to our country's culture, which is what the subject is exposed to. And there are also Sanskrit terms which are there in the lesson, which is self-explanatory, and it's not that difficult to spell it or understand, as the meanings are already given, like non-determinate, nirvikalpa, determinate, savikalpa, and knowledge, jnana. So all these are very well explained. Now, if you talk about, as I already mentioned about, it is integrated subject, which there's a suggestion which comes from every person, like it should be integrated and it should be considered as a mainstream of studies, right from lower classes, be it any board. Then probably students may be exposed to the tradition, culture, and knowledge in the earlier stage, and they would gradually help them. It will gradually help them gain mastery in the subject towards the later stages. And they should be exposed to basic information and ancient history of subject while learning the content of the subject. So finally, I would add that knowledge, tradition, and practices are strong pillars on which the entire world and people stay connected. Unless we know our country's glories, we may not do justice to the belief of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, wherein we aim the world to come together as one. And it is immaterial which subject we are specialized, as I already mentioned. We need to be knowing our country, our traditional practices to stay rooted to our culture where we are. Yes. So recently, the Ministry of Education has also announced a webinar program on 1 year of transformation reforms under NEP 2020, which includes themes such as multidisciplinary and holistic education and Indian knowledge system, languages, arts, and culture, which clearly states that transformation that is taking place in the education system as it focuses on giving importance to Indian culture and knowledge systems at all levels of education. So time has come to invest in human machine by maintaining the values in oneself. These subjects would truly help in appreciating the valuable contribution of the Indian legends of ancient times and instill the same value for all in us. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all.
Okay, can you close your PPT?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Geeta ma'am. That subject itself is so beautiful. That's a very beautiful subject that we really wanted all of you to know about it. All the CBSE teachers, principals sitting here, please see that you start introducing this subject at the class 11 and 12. It's a very, very beautiful subject. And all those who are not with the CBSE board, we have a different state board people here. State board teachers are also here. State board principals are here. Please note this. We have put a link. In the link, we have our office, Priyanka has put up the link there. This book is freely available. You can download the book and keep it. I want everybody to download it and keep it because it has got some wonderful knowledge packed in these these 2 years books, class 11 and class 12. It's full of content which you can use it in the assembly. You can give an assembly talk on that because CVP Chinmaya Vision program stresses on Indian culture, right? So it has a lot of tips for how to introduce Indian culture to our students. It is very important that we understand this is a subject which is introduced by Central Board of Secondary Education in class 11 and 12 as an optional subject. We have around 6-7 of our schools only implementing it. We want Chinmaya mission is, you know, that how we are into the Indian system of learning and we encourage all of that. So we want as many schools as possible to introduce this in CBSE. And those who are not introducing it, note this link, download the book, keep it as a spiral binding in your office so that you can use it for assembly. You can assembly talks and all of that. How will you use it? I can only give you a glimpse about it. It's such a beautiful content. Now, the national education policy is clearly talking about the Indic system of learning. They are now emphasizing on the Indian system of learning. They've realized it that we have made a mistake. After the Britishers left for the last so many years, we have ignored the Indian system of learning. They want to come back to it in a very big way. And who can do it? Only people like us can do it. We can do it together. Chinmaya Mission, as already talking about the CVP program, even before the national education policy came, Swamini Amma, Vimlananda Amma has written it so beautifully, exposing our Indian, the Indian expertise in various fields to the world is very, very important. See, we had yoga, meditation, pranayam, all this was in our culture. We never bothered about it. See, the recent years, how every school has yoga teacher, every class is doing yoga because America has started doing, now we have woken up. We should also do it. And we used to do Topu Karanam. It was done by us. It was in our culture because this holding these two ear lobes and sitting, and it's a very beautiful yoga because it activates the oxygen in the body. And now we never bothered about it. Now somebody American is putting it as a package saying that it is brain yoga. And then we start following it. We think the schools are following brain yoga. This is what is the problem with our country. We do not know what is the glory in the country. Recently in IIT, they have passed a clear policy that anything that is taught before that Indian system will be introduced, and then only you will go to the modern system, whatever education we are talking. For example, if you are talking about integers, don't say integers came in now in this recent years. People talk about the integers has come up given by the Greeks to us. The Roman numerals given this, given to Greek has given this. But we have had it in the very past. Brahmagupta in the 6th century has talked about the integers and all of that. It's all available. When you're talking about pi, there is a shloka in Sanskrit, Krishna Ashtakam, which completely gives you the formula for the pi value, 3 point, it goes for 40 decimals. You know that it's a recurring decimal. Pi, I'm talking about 22/7. If you divide it, it keeps on going. The decimal doesn't end. It's a recurring decimal. And the shloka has the 42 decimals. That was the glory of our thing. So he said in the aero, when somebody is trying aerodynamics as a study in the IIT, they said, please talk about the Vimana Sastra that was followed. Mentioned about the Pushpaka Vimana that was followed in the stories. Rama flew from the Pushpaka Vimana, came back to Ayodhya. It has been, please believe me, I'm not joking. It has been included in the syllabus IIT that we need to talk about it. We are now working on books where we are mentioning about it. We are mentioning about all of this. Start the exercise of talking about anything that you do. You know, computer teacher was asking me, ma'am, I'm teaching about the password and passcode and all. How can I bring in Indian culture? I said, you see, Lakshmana Rekha, what is Lakshmana Rekha? He said Lakshman Rekha was drawn. If he said you step out of this, you will not step out. It is a firewall which we use in our computer system was there, existed in our stories a long ago. So if you think about it, how Indian culture, the glory of culture, we can give it to children. We need to bring this awareness to our children, and Chinmaya Vidyalaya should be pioneers in doing it. Think about whatever lesson you are giving. If you are doing an annual day program, talk about the Natya Shastra. Everything is there in that book. If you read, we do it in CIRS. Acting, what actor should do, how the acting should be brought out, what are the way the ambience should be prepared for a Natya Shastra. If you are doing a drama, how the thing, even coming from the audience, nowadays there's a new technique. You've seen that in plays, somebody will get up from the audience and go as an actor. That is also mentioned in the Natya Shastra. Everything is there. I went to this Madurai temple. You enter the temple and you stand on that step, the first step, you'll see a nice breeze blowing in. There is no window other close by. The Gopuram is there. The Gopuram is constructed in such a way that the wind blows through it and then you are able to see. That was the architecture that we had in our country. Nothing to beat about, talk about the current architecture. We had so much of wealth and glory in our country. Who is going to give that to our children? If you want to change the pattern of only taking everything, aping from the West, we need to give this in our culture. So I want every school, whether it is a state board or whether it is a CBSE school, please, in CBSE school, please introduce it. Children won't know. You have to tell them why this is important. Once they understand, it's a very high scoring mark for all those who are asking for scores. I can tell you that the children get about 97, 98% marks in that. And CBSE has done it because there was a lot of, we had Amrita Vidyalayam and Chinmaya Mission, we had pushed this subject to be introduced. And they are asking why only 20 schools are following it in the country. If more schools are not taking it, we may close down the subject. This is what CBSE is saying. But you should see the wonder of that beautiful subject, like Geeta ma'am mentioned it. It's got a lot of things for us to know. You can find out everything from it. You take one chapter, you will know about the astronomy, what our country, our Indians have done, what the Vedic mathematics they have done. Vedic mathematics chapters are there, how it was all revealed to them. Our rishis meditated and they got that knowledge. That is the strength of our country. So I think it's a very beautiful initiative for all schools to download that and take it. Now Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth is teaching everything in that concept only. Whatever they do, they are with the Indian concept of education they are teaching. And KTPI and education sell together. We are launching a portal. I'm giving you the website address of that portal. All those who are offering KTPI, please go to that website where we are going to have forums where you can discuss, you can put your points in that, we can talk to us, we are going to get experts to think about it. Entire 11 and 12 syllabus, the lesson plans have been posted in that website. Those who are offering, you can just go and take it from there. It's going to be really, really useful to all of you. Please, you take it from there and you can see for every lesson we have added what videos can be shown to children, what PowerPoint can be shown to children, and what expert talks can be given to the children, and what quizzes, what questions can be given. Everything is placed there because we want to encourage more schools. It's going to be launched. The website is, that e-portal is going to be launched on 3rd August. On Gurudev's Mahasamadhi Day. This is what is being planned by the Vice Chancellor and the Education Cell. We are working together. We will send you the invite for all the schools. We have introduced the subject. We want you to become a part of it. Not the principals, not the school. I want every teacher to become a part of that. I want every student who is doing KTPI to become a part of that website, what the portal, and share his ideas. And to speak, children have spoken about how they enjoy doing the subject. It's a very, very beautiful subject. Please introduce it. Right now, you are going through online classes. Download the book and say every week one teacher will read out the glory of India. I'm talking to all of you, not to only the CBSE school teachers. Just take one aspect, the astronomy aspect, and then share it with the children. That much of knowledge you will get, and you will have a very good content for sending the CVP report to us. You can say that in the assembly we showed this to children with some picture and children talking about. So we need to do it. It's our responsibility to do it. We are pioneers in taking Indian culture forward. So it's our responsibility. Please see that. I have given the portal address. You can just go to the website. KTPI is a link there. You just click it. You will see all the lesson plans, lesson videos, PPTs, quizzes, higher order thinking and questions, everything. We have put it in that to making it easy for you to do it. And also go to download the book and take some point, one paragraph, and give it to the children. This is my thing. It's so nice that when ma'am said I'll talk about KTPI, specifically, I knew it is not for all other schools, but I thought we must include this because that is our Chinmaya Education Cell and Chinmaya Vidyalayas. We want to endorse our Indian culture and the Indian knowledge practices. It's a very, very beautiful thing about it. So please take a look at it. I think you should all take a look at it. Thank you, Geeta ma'am. That was very, very nice of you to give an introduction to that. A small suggestion to everybody, in the PowerPoint, don't put too much of writing content. It distracts the mind actually, because we are not neither able to read it properly nor able to listen to the speaker. So put only pointers, just add pointers. And at least a few of you should also avoid just reading. Just look at it, chat with us. We are all our own family members here. You can chat with each other by giving, ideas together, and that's how we can grow together. So thank you all so much. So you need to know who is going to be the next week's people. Here is the next week people. We have our Trishur teacher, music teacher, Srimati Neetu, giving the prayer. We have got so many recordings of the prayers also with us. And we have the Anil Kumar, principal from Chinmaya Vidyalaya Kannamali. Principals are opting, so I give them the slightly the first preference. So he is going to talk about branding, which is very, very important. So many of us are struggling with strength now in the pandemic. Children, we don't even know whether children are in our school or not. They are not paying fees, nor attending online classes, but they are not taking PZ also. So how to brand that we are able to embrace all children. So this is Anil Kumarji is going to speak, and Ranjani Venugopal, faculty from Chinmaya Vidyalaya Trishur, is going to speak on non-verbal communication. And we have Shegaon, Maharashtra, Srimati Sangamitra Joshi. She is going to, it's a new thing, she wanted to speak about it, so we have encouraged it. She is going to talk to us about her own personal experience, how she has gone through this transformation, becoming a Chinmaya teacher. I think it will be inspiring for all of us. So that is these are the speakers for next week. And we are also finalizing for the other classes. We will share it with you, send the invitation letter. If you have more people wanting to give talks, please share it with us. We will be very happy to have it. These are all in the YouTube, Chinmaya Education Cell YouTube link. Even the speakers, you can go and listen to your own speech again if you want. It's all placed in the Chinmaya Education Cell YouTube channel. You can take a look at it, and also see that you ask more of your friends. If the non-Chinmaya Vidyalaya teachers can also watch it. If you have your own friends, they can watch it in YouTube. Here in the link, I would want all the teachers from our Vidyalaya. Others, you can send the YouTube link to them if you want other teachers, your friends, or anybody, family members wanting to join that program. With these few words, I thank all of you for encouraging this beautiful initiative, coming in big numbers. And also let us try to be punctual. We are keeping on admitting throughout the session, people are coming, somebody is coming and somebody is leaving, somebody is coming. That should not be the discipline. Gurudev is our missionary. Gurudev is a master in punctuality. We have to absorb all of this slowly in ourselves. So beyond that, and let me also have all of you have a wonderful Aradhana day when we observe Gurudev's Mahasamadhi Day coming on the 3rd of August. Let us dedicate ourselves. We are doing his service, and I'm sure he will be taking us on his shoulder and guiding whatever we do. Wish you all a very, very, very divine Aradhana day. All of you, do some sadhana, do some japa, do some prayers, do some meditation. That way, it will help us to cleanse ourselves also. Thank you all so much. So we'll close with the Shanti part. Anybody would like to lead the Shanti part? Anybody can lead it. Yes. Yes, Asha ma'am. Yes, thanks. Ma'am, be loud, ma'am. Just be more loud.
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Hari Om. See you all next.